Hello and welcome to Asian Petrolhead. Today we have new Ioniq hybrid from Hyundai. So Ioniq is the first car Hyundai ever built from ground up to be served as a hybrid or electric car. It was first introduced in January of year 2016, and after 3 years of initial launch, this new guy has been reintroduced. Hybrid and plug-in hybrid were introduced this January, and also EV model was introduced this May. And today we have the hybrid model with longest range among the three. Okay, name first. Ioniq actually stands for Ion and Unique. You combine those words together and you get Ioniq. What about the size and what does it compete against? Well, it's a compact 5-door hatchback from Hyundai that competes against Toyota Prius, Chevrolet Volt, and Ford C-Max. In terms of size, it hasn't changed all that much. It's a facelift, so they made changes on the front and rear of the car. And why don't we start from the front? I always thought Ioniq didn't look cool or pretty, but Hyundai made a few changes this time to make the car more appealing. Let's just say this new guy looks more futuristic and clean. Guys, let me know what you think about the new front design in the comment section. Alright, what has changed from the front? First, LEDs are being used on the headlamp and daytime running lamp, but turn signals are still bulb type. Let me show you in more detail. This is headlamp, high beam, turn signal, and honk sound for you. There's also revised cascading grille in the middle, and these lines on each side are stretched all the way to the end of headlamp, giving a wider look. And there's also air curtains right next to DRLs. Alright guys, let's get the numbers out of the way. Ioniq Hybrid has 1.6 liter Atkinson cycle gasoline engine. An engine is getting help from 32 kilowatt motor, producing 43.5 horsepower. And it's the same unit also found in Kia Niro. An engine is mated to 6-speed dual clutch transmission. Now let me show you how fast Ioniq Hybrid can be. Well, it took Ioniq Hybrid about 10 seconds to hit 62 miles per hour. It's slower than I thought, but you know, this is still a hybrid. I don't think Hyundai's gonna like this, but let's take a look at the second row seats. I'm 6'2", and this was where I was sitting, so legroom is okay, but headroom is a bit tight back here. But there's also air vents for the second row passengers, armrest with 2 cup holders. So if you want more headroom, I suggest you go for the Kia Niro. You know, it's a crossover. No design changes can be spotted from the side except new wheel design. So let's take a look. Our tester is wearing 225, 45, 17 on front and back. Now let's check out the braking performance of the new Ioniq Hybrid. It took Ioniq Hybrid about 125 feet to a complete stop. Well stopped pretty well for an eco-friendly guy. Hyundai also improved the interior, not just in terms of design, but also materials being used. Hyundai says the soft touching material on dashboard is made of sugar canes. Also, plastic on door trims are made of trees and also volcanic stones. And that is pretty nice, huh? There's also a 7-inch LCD gauge cluster and for the first time 10.25-inch infotainment screen. And it seems like Hyundai is slowly moving away from physical buttons, and I do really hope they don't overuse touch-sensitive buttons. Alright, now let's go out to the road with Ioniq Hybrid. Alright, let's start with visibility. To be honest, this isn't as great as some of the SUVs. Front end side is okay, but rear is somewhat limited due to low roofline and splitted window. But this is compact car, so it's not hard to drive. Gauge cluster and infotainment screens are easy on the eyes with great graphics, but like I told you, touch-sensitive buttons are being used for the media and climate control, and it's not as easy as they used to be, so bring me back the buttons, Hyundai. And there's also a wireless charging pad, and infotainment system also supports both Android and Apple CarPlay, so connectivity is good here. So when you're driving nice and slow like this, it will drive on the EV mode, and when you put your foot down, engine will kick in, and there's no EV button, so a car will automatically choose the EV mode for you as much as it can. And it feels okay, not too bothersome when engine kicks in and shuts off. And when you're driving on the EV mode, it feels very quiet inside. You just hear the tires rolling. Nothing else. It's pretty nice. Alright, enough talking. Let's put the car into sports and drive. It's interesting how these paddle shifters will serve two different tasks according to the drive modes you select. In eco mode, it will change the intensity of regen braking, but in sports mode, it will actually change the gears for you. Third gear, still third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. So, pretty interesting. One nice thing is that dual clutch transmission is being used rather than CVTs, so you don't have to worry about drone noises coming from the CVTs. So how does it shift? Although it's a DCT, it is made for the efficiency. So it is okay in sports mode, but it shifts with delays in eco mode. So I would just leave it in sports mode if you want to drive sports. Let me show you. Fourth gear, fifth gear, third gear. Fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. 5, 4, 3. Actually, it doesn't want to go into second. Second. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So, even sports mode is not too responsive, yes. What about the engine? Well, this is not a fast car. You have to actually put your foot down deeper to achieve quick response. But you don't drive this car for speed. You drive this car for efficiency, right? So So how efficient is this guy? Well, Ioniq Hybrid returned 48 miles per gallon in the city and 65 miles per gallon on the highway. And Hyundai says you can drive up to 620 miles with a full tank, and that is quite impressive. What about handling? It is happy on 2-0. It takes steering input nicely and it has got lots of grip. Whoa! So I would say it handles pretty confidently for an eco-friendly guy. Maybe it's the multi-link setup at the rear, or maybe it's the battery placed at the rear seats, but it's handling quite confidently for a compact hybrid sedan. Yeah. Just like any other Hyundai models, Ioniq Hybrid has lots of driving aids. It's got forward collision avoidance, lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise control that works with navigation. But I'd like to talk about something else with this car. And Ioniq Hybrid has something called Green Zone Drive mode. Green Zone meaning popular areas such as hospitals and schools and so forth. So when you go drive into Green Zone with Ioniq Hybrid, it'll actually try to delay starting up the engine as much as possible by relying on battery, and I think that is quite clever. Let me also show you guys the rear design. New tail lamp, and they also changed the color of the rear bumper and the trunk. The opening is large because it's a hatchback, and trunk size seems to be alright for a hybrid. Some storage area below, and of course you can fold the second row seats to yield more cargo room. Today we had a chance to test drive 2020 Hyundai Ioniq Hybrid. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back with more car reviews. And before you leave, please do support us by subscribing to our channel. Thank you guys.